Hello, my Zentangle friends. This is Barbara Langston, CZT, Certified Zentangle Teacher. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I want to start out with gratitude and appreciation for the Zentangle headquarters who just finished the second online seminar for certifying Zentangle teachers. I have two of my students who are now CZTs, and I'm just very grateful that Zentangle has been able to still do these seminars with COVID and the pandemic going on, and that many people around the world have still been able to be certified as Zentangle teachers. Today, I wanted to do a Dragonfly with you. There is a group on Facebook called Tangle All Around that was started by Alice Hendon, CZT, and I have a couple of her books and I enjoy what she does. And she suggested drawing some dragonflies and then post what we do on the Tangle All Around website. So if you're part of that group, then maybe this will help you out. And if you're not part of that group, maybe you'll join. So I have a gray tile, and I'm going to use a black micron, a blue micron 01, and then graphite pencil, white chalk pencil, and 2 tortillons. You can use any color that you want to use, but I've done this already on a white tile. In fact, this is the one that I'm going to teach you today, and I just thought I'd like to try it on a gray tile. But like I said, you can do it any way that you would like. Let me adjust my phone a little bit. I had it all adjusted, and of course one of my alarms went off, so I had to take care of that. Okay, there we go. The two patterns that we are going to use are Betweed and Finery, and we are going to start by making some lines. Also have an eraser handy, and I'm going to use my kneaded eraser because I like to put several lines on here that help me to get this thing started. Just a line across diagonally, and again, it does help sometimes if you do it in the air first and then actually put your pencil down. And now we're going to go straight across. And we're going to use these lines mostly to help get our circle on there because I'm not going to use a compass this time. And then I'm going to come in, now that we have these lines, I'm going to come down about, I guess that's a 1/4 inch or so, and just put a line. This is going to be a guide for our circle. Once you have those lines, what we're going to do is just arc our hand from this line to that one. Okay, turn your tile. Make another arc. First time I did this, I was pretty surprised at how good my circle looked. And we're doing it in pencil so that we can get it the way we like it. Yeah, not bad. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to do is make the lines for the wings. So get an idea of where you want the wings to be. And I'm thinking about right in here for me. And keeping in mind, I have a 4-inch tile, so mine is a little bit bigger. And let's just go across here. Like I say, this is going to be the body. And the way I did it on this one, you can see that the wings come down straight a little bit and then go back up. So that starts here, and we're still using pencil. And it's okay if this goes outside of your ring. I'm going to bring it down a little bit and then come back up. And then the challenge for me is always to get it to look the same on the other side. And I can see that I went through that line. That might help me. And then kind of straight down and then back up. And then do whatever adjustments you might need to make it look about the same on both sides. Okay? Now we're going to do the bottom wing. It's going to be not as big as the first one. Come back up. Again here. And come back up. And I made that one a little bit too long. And if it helps, go ahead and do a little bit of erasing. Okay, close enough. And then I'm going to erase the lines inside here because it gets to be a little bit too much for me. Don't erase the circle though. Okay, so I think that looks good for my wings. Now I'm going to put the body in here, and this is kind of just a big rice kernel shape, you could call it. And then I'm going to take out a little bit of that from the center. Okay, now we're going to put the head. And this just gives us a chance to make sure we're doing it the way that we like. We're going to have an antenna coming out from both sides. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. So there's our body. And let's go ahead and get your micron now. I'm going to start filling in the body first. Zoom in a little bit. Okay. I'm going to make this a little bit thicker. And then we're going to just add some orbs in here. And then fill in these little spaces. Okay, so that's the body. Now let's add the head. Go ahead and circle that one with your ink and put a little orb inside of that. And I'm going to wait on the antenna. Now we're going to do the wings. Okay. And then again. And now the other side. Whoop. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is the body. And there are different things that you can do for the body. These are some ideas that I have in my sketchbook. You could do just these little circles, orbs that go down. This one is kind of like a ribbon that goes down. This one, I tried the pattern called Y Chain by Dami, and I thought that one made it look kind of fat and weird, so I'm not going to do that one. This is the same as that first one that I showed you with the orbs, but then I filled in around it, and I also changed the shape of the wings and the head a little bit. So you have a lot of options. Always make this your art. Maybe practice on your sketchbook first and then decide what you like, and then put it on to your tile. But the one that I'm going to do is this one. Okay. And I start that by just kind of echoing the body. And then I'm going to aura that again. And then I'm going to come from behind. And I'm just going to make, okay, before I start, I still have this line down here, so I'm kind of following that line. So I'm just going to make these little wavy lines that a bit slowly get smaller until I get to here, and then I'm going to stop. So I stopped before I got to that circle. And then I'm going to repeat that on the other side, and it's going to meet where these lines meet in the center. Okay, this pencil lines where they're meeting. And then we stop at the bottom. And now I'm going to aura that. And as I aura it, I want my aura to also meet at that center line. So just watch what I'm doing. It's not a very wide aura, but then I'm going to come in. And then it's going to come out again. Come in at the center point. Come out and in, out. And I'm not making them perfect. And that's okay. And now I'm going to do that on the other side. Again, meeting there in the center. I'm attempting to make it look like a ribbon that's kind of spiraling in and out. Just a different idea for a body. And there we go. Okay, so now I have that part done. And now I am going to erase some of my lines. I'm not going to erase on top of that yet because they might be a little bit dry. I mean, might not be dry. Sorry about that. Just to get some of my lines off, leaving the circle. Okay. So the first pattern that we're going to do on this dragonfly is called Finery. So we're going to put a double line down the center of his wings, and then you can do this little thing coming from the center or from the outside of the wing. And I'm going to have it come from the outside of the wing, but it's going to be like this instead of that little fescue type shape that's on that one. Okay, so from the center, I want to go in the middle of the wing, and then I'm going to R that. Do the same thing on this side. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make kind of an S shape here. Kind of a wavy line comes up, curves up. Finery makes a very pretty ribbon. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing and echo this on the other side. Didn't do so good on that first one, but it's okay. Right? Do that on the other side. Kind of just a wavy line. And I am making it kind of match where the one on the other side starts. And then on the outside, I'm going to start down here so you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. I'm just going to make kind of a point. You can see that. I'll do it again here. Just a line, just curved a little bit at the bottom. And then I'm going to put little dots. And I am filling this in, giving it kind of a little curved look down there at the bottom. Making it smaller as I go down the wing. I'm going to turn it. Do the same thing on this side. Now I'm on the other wing. I think Finery is a very pretty pattern. This is a Zentangle original pattern. Remember to breathe and relax. Relax your hand, relax your shoulders. Okay. So there's our top wing. The bottom wing is going to be the pattern Betweed. And I'm going to do it similar to what you see here, where it almost looks like a ribbon. And again, you'll see it here. And the way that I'm going to start is at the end of the wing. I'm just going to make a curve that comes around, and then about halfway in, I'm going to make another curve that comes down, and then I'm just going to keep alternating like that until I get to the bottom of the wing. Okay, and then we're going to add some weighting like this on each of those. Some people do that as they make each line, but I tend to go back. It's just the way I do it. Okay. Now I'm going to do the other wing. Again, I'm going to start okay. Let's start here. So I do want to kind of make them match. Betweed is one of my favorite patterns to use. Okay, add weighting. All right. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is to add the circle. And we're going to put a quote, or you could even put a pattern inside of this if you would prefer. Mine says she believed that she could, so she did. And we're going to now, actually, I'm going to use my black pen on this part. I am going to follow that circle and do that all the way around. If you have to stop, like I just did, just try to start your pen a little before where your mark ended, and then start again, and then it's not quite so noticeable that you started and stopped. Come a little bit behind, start again. It's a big circle to try to draw in one movement. Okay, now we're going to R that just very lightly, narrow just inside, all the way around. And mine are not exactly even, and that's okay. All right. And now we're going to put another circle just inside this one, leaving yourself enough room if you want to write something in there. Leave enough room that you can do that. Okay. So I've come down, what's that, about the width of this barrel or so. And I'm going to draw another circle. And I probably should have made that one a little bit bigger, but it's okay. I'll give myself a little bit more room down here, and hopefully it won't be noticeable. Okay. And again, we are going to add another line on the outside here. So actually, it's on the inside. I think I did much better on my circles on that first one than I did. But there you go. It's okay. And then the next thing that we're going to do, you can put whatever words, saying, quote, that you would like to. And I'm also going to add my antenna now, and I'm going to go outside of this circle. I actually should have done that in blue, but I didn't. And make a little antenna. May go over that with blue, but I don't know if it'll show up. Okay. Let me see if I can make that look more blue. But it's okay. Keep in mind, you can fill these wings with any pattern that you want to use. I found some on Pinterest that I'll show you real quick that could give you some ideas. That one has Shattuck, and it also has Tweed. This one is really full of patterns, and you can see how beautiful that part looks. This one is actually one that I did a couple of years ago. Here's this one. I like how they did the orbs for the body. And then here's this one. So just some ideas. I just did a search for Zentangle dragonflies, and that's what came up. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and add my shading to the center part. So I'm just going to add graphite along the inside aura on these wings on Finery. And I'm going to add a little bit on the just on the inside of this rice shape. And then on these, where it looks like they're overlapping, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of shading on here. Don't be afraid to add shading. If you don't like how it looks, you can always erase it. Or at least, like with the kneaded eraser, if you feel like you had too much. And what I also like about this is that if I have just a tiny bit of something I need to erase, I can make a point with it. And then like down here, I could easily erase something that's between those lines. Okay. Again, I'm adding graphite just below these little ribbons. I like how this looks woven. Then I'm going to soften it with your tortillon, or if you don't have a blending stump, you can use a Q-tip, a cotton swab, or you can even use your finger. With the graphite that's still on my tortillon, I'm going to go ahead and go around the edge a little bit. I'm not adding a lot. Gives it kind of a rounded look. Like I said, you could always go back and add a little bit more graphite if you want. Okay. I'm not going to add any shading to the body. You could even fill these ribbons in if you wanted to. I'm going to add a little bit of graphite. I mean the white charcoal, sorry, on top. Give that a little bit of a shine. Just play with it. Add a little bit inside here. In fact, I think I will add white inside of each of these. That's what I like about using the tan or gray or any other color on a tile. It gives you the chance to add the white. Okay, like how that looks. Now on the top of this wing. And then I'm going to put, again, a little bit in here, just for a little bit of sparkle on that part of the wing also. And down the center of this. And I don't think I'll be able to get that in that center one. So I'm going to go ahead and use a Jelly Roll tin. And I'm going to put a little dot there. And I think I'll use my blue and fill in the tips of these, since I actually meant for that to be blue. Okay, so there we have, this is just a very simple dragonfly. Again, you can make yours as detailed or simple as you would like. And then decide any kind of saying that you would like to go inside of it. And I would suggest also that you do it in pencil first, and then add your chalk, and there you go. If you do this, I would encourage you to become a part of this group, Tangle All Around, and submit what you've done to Alice and the Tangle All Around group. I would love to see it. Tag me also if you've watched this and you submit it to her group. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time. Bye.